And the more research I did in regards to routines, I realized that a lot of the higher successful people, executives and sports people, have this routine throughout the day. So it's not just the morning.
Agent Power Huddle is a daily jumpstart, giving you all the tools you need to create an amazing real estate career. Led by top experts in the field, you'll learn how to sell more houses in less time while creating the life you want. Welcome to the Agent Power Huddle.
Here's the man, the myth, the legend, Tristan himself. So Autumn, you will make Tristan a co-host with me. I'm stoked. So Tristan, I've just given you an introduction.
Dude, it was perfect.
How many times have I introduced you? What do you think?
I don't know, man, but we're longtime buddies.
Longtime buddies. All right. So let me introduce you. So show of hands on the screen. How many of you have heard of a Facebook group called Lab Coat Agents? Raise your hand. All right, Tristan, you're doing pretty good. Branding is good. Branding is high. People are aware. How many of you know that the gentleman who founded Lab Coat Agents, it's a 140,000 person Facebook group. If you've never been in it, it's all about studying the science of real estate. Right? I'm biased. I'm partial because I'm a moderator for that group. So I get to drop stuff in there. Tristan was nice enough to be like, Jesse, you kind of know something about real estate sometimes. Will you help out in that group? I'm like, yeah, sure. I'll do stuff with real estate sometimes. So the guy who started Lab Coat, show of hands, how many of you know that the guy who started Lab Coat Agents is Tristan Ahumada? Raise your hand. Awesome. So in case you don't know it, he's also an incredible human being. Has some really amazing projects. He has this thing called the Brilliant Tribe you should ask him about. He has a team in Southern California which does amazing amount of high-end deals as well as normal people deals too. I interviewed one of his team agents the other day though who closed, how big was that deal, Tristan, that he closed?
He closed $10.5 million.
$10.5 million. He's an agent on a team who closed a $10.5 million deal. If you're an agent on a team, I'm not telling you to call Tristan. This is not he doesn't pass them out like candy. That's not like a normal thing for his team, but it's pretty cool. He was very excited.
Well, this year it's been like candy, but not normally.
Well, then I'm going to call you and join your team because I would like $10 million deals like candy. And for today, he's going to talk to us, and I'm trying to look up as fast as I can your actual title of what we're talking about today. Your daily routine. That's it. We're talking about your daily routine, right?
Oh, perfect, dude. I wasn't sure either. I'm joking. I got it.
So I'm going to turn it over to you. This is your show to run, dude. You want me to jump in with you? You want me to stay here? But I don't know, since last time we've been on Agent Power Huddle, we've kind of developed a new dynamic where, watch this. How many of you guys are excited about Friday? Wave your hand, raise your arms, wave your hands on the screen. Look at this. These people are all excited about Friday. So we're basically faking the fact that we can't be physically face-to-face due to COVID, but we get to actually still be you're on stage with real human beings. Feel free to interact, engage, have them wave their hands, talk to them.
Oh, nice. Where's the music, Jesse? I thought we were going to have music.
You missed the music? We had a music.
Oh, dude. I was late. That's why.
We had music. We had an intro. Dude, it's like a real show now.
All right, cool. And I've got about how much time so I don't go over, Jesse?
24 minutes till the end, but honestly, people are going to be respectful of time. We usually wrap up right at 8:30 Pacific. But if you want to chat more with people, we'll add you to our Facebook group. They can talk to you in Lab Coat Agents, whatever you want, man. 25 minutes.
Perfect. Then let's do this. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. Wanted to get right into it and talk about routine. We often hear about the morning routine only. And I feel like the evening routine is kind of left out, like that bad stepchild nobody ever wants to talk about or loves. And the more research I did in regards to routines, I realized that a lot of the higher successful people, executives and sports people, have this routine throughout the day. So it's not just the morning, right? You look at some of the most amazing athletes out there, like Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant. There was a lot of consistency in the things that they did. And it required consistency throughout the day. So it was morning and evening, right? Not only would they show up early morning, but they'd also be there at the very end and have a routine to wind down. So you think of an airplane. When you're going into an airplane, there's about a 200 item checklist at least to get that airplane prepared to take off, right? Check. Engines working, right? Check. Everything else is here. The pilot and the co-pilot are here. Check. Everybody's in their seats. Check. Now, when you're going down and landing, it's the same thing. right? You've got to make sure everything is functional and it's going to go back to normal. It winds down. So I want to talk to you about both routines. And I took a long time creating this. So I'm going to share with you something that I personally use, that I've created, and I've shared with a lot of other leaders to tweak and to modify and to make better. So this is what I'm about to show you is a combination of something that I came up with after testing and testing and testing. And the very first time I was exposed to any type of a routine was 2006. It was the summer of 2006. My wife was pregnant with our first child, and I never had traveled anywhere without my wife ever. And I'd already been married 10 years. And so I decided to go to a Tony Robbins event in San Jose. It's not a long flight, it's like 45 minutes for me. And so I was like, I've got to do this. I just have this urgency to do this. It's a 3-4 day event. And that was the very first time I was introduced to some type of a routine. And so I came back and I started to tweak it over the years, and I started to add things to it. Then I read books like I don't remember the 5 a.m. book by Sharma. And then I read Hal Elrod, and then Hal Elrod became a friend of mine. And so I started modifying it more and more as I learned more about routines. Then I started going outside of the books and asking people about their routines, but not just any people that were successful in my eyes. So people that had amazing families, right? People that had just their health down to what they're eating and working out, right? People that were emotionally and socially aware. And then people that also had successful businesses. And you wouldn't believe me if I told you that a lot of these people that were kind of at the cusp of having something great, they didn't have routines, which was insane to me, right? I was like, what? Like, I would seriously interview them and pop the question, because I interview about 5 people a day. And I interview them and I ask them time. So tell me about your routine. Like, you're doing so good here. Tell me what the morning looks like and what the evening is like. Well, Tristan, to tell you the truth, I kind of don't have a routine. And so I dig in a little bit deeper, and they do have a routine. They just didn't know they had one, right? And a lot of us live life that way, which is not knowing that we're doing something habitually. And trust me, it's more important to be aware of your routine so you know what to tweak and what to change than just falling into the day. And so I'm going to show you something that I'll share with you too. Jesse, I'm going to send you this too. It's a whole outline. And we're going to go over it. Well, how much time do we've got? We've got, perfect, 19 minutes. We'll go through pretty quick. Let me open this up. Now, this is the latest iteration of what I created over years. And I've had my design team tweak it. It started as chicken scratch. Jesse?
Hey, dude, I just want to tell you, if this is not enough time, we can break this up into part 1 and part 2. Because I'm already loving what you're saying. This is such a powerful thing. So I know that you're not going to rush through it anyway, but do what you do, dude. If we need to break it up part 1 and part 2, I love this. Just do
all right. I might break it up. I really think the evening routine is even more important than the morning routine, but I'm going to start with the morning routine only because we're all used to hearing about it all the time. And let me pop up here what I created. So I'm glad Jesse brought up A Brilliant Tribe, because Jesse, I finally decided to brand it right here. You see, A Brilliant Tribe. So it's becoming. Do I admit Robert right here? Yeah, perfect. You did it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Autumn's behind the scenes. She's clicking buttons. She'll admit anybody. She'll keep people. She's in charge.
Sweet. All right. So this is what I've created. Now I've created 2 sections in one. So you see the morning routine here. This is morning, and I have this section right here in the morning that recently changed because one of the feedback that I was getting from some people that they don't have a lot of time in the morning, right? That I needed to shorten this because they couldn't get through the whole thing. And that's fair, because I look back just in the last year, and I can tell you that if you look at me completing the morning and the evening routine regularly, it's probably only 4 days out of the 7. And that's okay, because you're going to hear people tell you, oh, yeah, the morning routine is important. You got to do it every day for the rest of your life, 365 days a year. And I'm like, that's just not humanly possible all the time. I mean, even now that I'm working out religiously, I miss a day, right? Like, I'm supposed to work out 3 times a day. Yesterday, I missed one of my workouts, and I was okay, because I feel, you know what? This is the process. It's okay as long as I'm consistent through a very long period of time. That's the key. And so this is what I'm going to go in with and check it out with you here. So the first half, and Jesse, pop in if you have any questions.
I just had a question. Did you say you work out 3 times a day?
Yeah, now I do. And I'll go into that progressively.
I just my mind was blown for a second. So no, I'm not going to pop in. I just was more kind of, wow, I didn't even know that. I love it.
Dude, I had nothing else to do in COVID. My family's already here. I wasn't traveling. I'm not traveling, right? So
how many people have understand that feeling, right? There's both a million things to do and also like nothing to do, right? Like, raise your hand if you're like, I get it. Yeah, look at that. All right, dig it.
Dude, I know so many people that have picked up some really cool hobbies. I'm like, well, that's awesome, right? All right, so let's go through this. Now, you see the morning part here. I added recently the 10-minute morning is italicized below, so you can kind of get a feeling of how long it would take you if you've only got 10 minutes to do this. Now, let me share with you what I normally do. I started with meditation and prayer. I've been praying and meditating. I've been praying longer because my family, I grew up with my mom and dad, and they're Christian. So, and they were Christian at the time, and I was 8 years old, and they say, hey, this is how you pray. So prayer stuck with me, right? So I started praying, and I didn't really realize the power of prayer until I started meditating. And the power of meditation, if you don't know the power of meditation, it's simple, and it allows you to instantly call in focus when you need it. And so you hear a lot of people having attention deficit disorder, ADD, hyper ADD, whatever you want to call it. This allows you to really focus in, and meditation is simple. If you want to break it down to the simplest form, because I've been doing it for such a long time, is you close your eyes, and this can take a minute or it can take longer, right? Close your eyes, you breathe in and out, breathe in through your nose, stand up straight, sit up straight, breathe in through your nose, deep, breathe out through your mouth. And as you keep on doing that, I would tell you, or you would tell yourself, listen to the breath going in and listen to the breath coming out. And you're going to have thoughts that come in like, oh, I didn't pick up the eggs I was supposed to pick up. Oh, there's a deal that's falling apart. Oh, I didn't email. And then I tell you, and you tell yourself, focus on the breath coming in, focus on the breath coming out. That's the simplicity of that. Enhances your awareness and creates a habit as you do this through the months and through the years. So you begin to be able to focus instantly on anything that you want, because you're focusing on the breath coming in and the breath going out. The power of meditation is so subtle and extremely powerful that a lot of the people that start to do this, that have anxiety, realize that, whoa, I have no more anxiety. I can focus. I can read a book. Tristan, I can read a page without having to reread it 5 times. I'm like, yeah, that's because you can focus now. There's a big difference. I mean, you're ever reading a book and you're reading and you didn't even know you were reading, and it's like, oh, damn, what did I just read? Hold on, let me go back to the top of the page, right? So look, if you want to do this quickly, a minute, choose prayer or choose meditation, either one. They're slightly different. And I'm not saying that prayer is meditation or meditation is prayer, but they both serve similar things if you treat them in the same way. In prayer, if you are focusing on one thing and going back to that thing that you're focusing on, you push everything else away, other thoughts. and you start doing that habitually. So that's a minute. I go usually 5 to 10 minutes, depending on the day. If I'm in a hurry, I do a minute. Affirmations. You've heard of these. Some people call them incantations. You can call them whatever you want. The purpose of affirmations is to start rewiring your brain differently, because we're naturally talking to ourselves negatively. We lose a deal and we're like, oh, that was so stupid. That was so stupid. I could have done that better. We see somebody do amazing. That's a friend of ours or an acquaintance or a colleague. And then you're like, why them? Why not us? What are we doing? Why do I suck at doing this? And the challenge is that this is how we live life. And we're not aware of those thoughts that are coming in. The power of what you repeatedly tell yourself is life-changing. And it can cure a lot of these challenges that you have inside. Right? We go through the day and sometimes we feel so down. It's normal. Look, we all go through it. Sometimes I catch myself like that and like, oh, whoa, wait. Why did I even think that? The difference is I'm aware of those thoughts and I know that they're harmful to me. And it starts with affirmations. It starts with things that you tell yourself that you want to be better at. I always look at affirmations like this. When you're writing them out, write them out to see what you want to be like 6 months from now, what you want to be like a year from now, what you aspire to be like. The challenges that you're having, make those affirmations and see how that starts working in your life. That's what it's about, right? And I don't know if we treat affirmations that way. Like one of the affirmations that I've had for a very long time is for me to be able to be with my kids and to remember this, that my work is actual work like you're seeing right now, right? Helping people, and whether it's real estate or people. My children's work is play. And I need to be that example for them and play with them on a daily basis, because that's how they're learning to cooperate with other people. And I didn't realize that at an early stage with them, but I did after. And so that was my affirmation, just to keep on remembering that and to play with them often. And that's something simple for me. But I always remember that because it's one of my affirmations. And I don't go through all of my affirmations like one day. I hit about 10, and then I focus on one for the day. Anson, give me another one, please. Thanks. Just the water. All right. So next is, and you can stop me if you have questions, just raise your hand or just hit up Jesse. And then
there's someone typed in the chat. Letitia just said she loves this. Thank you, Tristan. I think you're doing great, dude. If people got questions, jump on in and ask. Yeah. This is why we do it live versus. And Tristan is actually, this is a hologram of Tristan talking. So this is all pre-recorded. It's just a really good programmed AI.
It's pretty good. How do you like it?
It's going great.
I'm going for mass production for this. Jesse. All right. So next is record. Record your previous day. Now, I've been journaling. And remember, when I tell you I'm doing something, it's not like every single day. I try, but I fall off the horse sometimes too. Okay. I've got this massive canvas art where I work out that says it's a Snoopy one. And it's got one of the characters from Snoopy. Thanks, buddy. Who's fallen off. And Snoopy's turning around and going to go get a horse for him because he's telling him that, hey, we're going to fall off. Just make sure to get back on the horse. And it just reminds me. That's why I have it where I work out. Record your previous day. My first date of actually starting consistently was the day my son was born, and that was March 24th, 2011. That's when it started consistently for me. Before that, it was on and off. And so I go and I pop up where I take it is digitally. And I go to something called Day One. It's a little app. Let me see. Oh, great. Let me shift out my screen. Oh, you know what? You could just look at Day One. I'll send you the link. It's Day One. It's an app. It's a great app. You can use it to record. And that's what I do. I record. I have everything recorded there. I have different journals that I'll share with you right after. So Now, recording your previous day, this can be pretty quick. It can be like, hey, this is what happened yesterday, right? But what I've morphed it into is not only that to track what happened, that's cool, but I also want to track what I've been learning. Like, what was different about yesterday? Was there anything that stood out? And I'll show you in the questions below. But was there a challenge that I had yesterday that I maybe learned from? Did I treat somebody like I didn't want to treat them? Right? What did I learn about yesterday about myself? Because the more you become aware, the more you start asking questions about who you are, that's who you start becoming. And the thing is, I don't think we ask ourselves those questions enough, right? So that's how I treat recording my previous day. And I always do my best to either add a video, short video from that day, or a picture. And because I know that, I'm always looking at opportunities to take pictures, especially after Jesse upgraded my phone. I'm taking great pictures. And every time I take a picture, I kid you not, I remember Jesse. I'm like, Jesse got me the phone. It's nuts, Jesse. You're like in my brain every day. It's nuts. And that's record your previous day. Now, visualize is tough. This one took me a very long time to modify and to get to. And I'm still progressing on this one as to what that would look like. And every time I send this out to like an executive or CEO or somebody, they want me to go over visualization. Like, what do you mean? Even though I wrote it out for them. So I'm going to take you through this, and just remember it's a work in progress, but this is where I've gotten to that. It feels good for me right now. All right. This is what it looks like. For visualization, I do close my eyes. And when I've got a lot of time, I go deeper into it, but I start with three things. Visualization starts with three things, and I go, okay, Tristan, how are we doing with the self? That's what I start with. And then I cycle through. I go self to me spiritually. So, if you're religious, God. Spiritually, God, how are you doing? Mind, health, emotions. How are you doing overall? And when I say mind, self growth, learning, progressing in that way. I go through that really quick, and then I shift over to the second one. So first is self, then is family. And I go in family, I think, all right, how am I doing with my wife, my spouse? How am I doing with my children, with my two children, daughter, son, right? And if you want to extend that to the rest of your family or friends, right, that's all family. How are you doing with those people? Go through that. Am I doing okay? Have I treated them well? And then you go to the third one, which is business. Business is business, whatever your mind gravitates to on the business side. And what I've noticed over the years of tweaking this is if I just go through those in visualization, this is what happens. I go through and I start with the self because that's the most important one, right? When you go in an airplane, the first thing the stewardess tells you, or the steward tells you is, hey, look, if those masks drop from the top, put yours on first and then take care of your kids next to you. So that's why I start with self first. You don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of other people. And so this is what happens. I go through and I'm like, whoa, wait a second. Family, under family, let's say I stop there. I'm like, I feel like maybe there's a disconnection right now over the last week with my spouse. I just don't feel like we've been talking enough. I don't feel like, and then I dig deeper. I go, well, Tristan, where are you right now with her? And then I do this, and this is what I've been tweaking over the years. Where do I want to be with her 6 months from now? All right, what are we on right now? We're in November. So I think November, I think December, January, February, March, April, May. I'm very clear. I go, okay, well, May. That's almost like through half of next year. Where do I want to be with her in May 2021? All right, well, I definitely want to connect with her more here. And I want her to feel like this. What do I need to do? Then I bring it back. What do I need to do today to start that? What's something small that I can do right now when I'm done here that that can start that. And I do the same thing, but I let my mind and my intuition, because you know what's wrong with you. You know what's wrong with your family. You know what's wrong with your business. The thing is, we never act on it. And so here is where I allow myself to go through that, and my mind identifies what I need to gravitate to. And it works every time. Like I've been doing this and tweaking it, and I'm like, this is different. This is good. I like where this is. And that's how I visualize. Now, sometimes this takes longer than 2 minutes, but I feel like this is probably the most important one from here, because this is where I go to the right, where you see thoughts and notes, and I actually write things down. I'm like, you know what? This is what I need to do right now. This is pressing right now, right? So that's visualization. Next, you've got exercise. Now, if you don't exercise in the morning, or you do, and this is after, I still suggest that you just jump down, do 20 push-ups, do 30 push-ups, do whatever push-ups you did. I said, hey, do 10 push-ups the other day to somebody, and he's like, whoa, Tristan, that's like child's play. I'm like, dude, come on. I thought 10 push-ups was a lot. So, do however many push-ups you want, or do jumping jacks, do sit-ups, whatever you want for a minute. It could even be for 2 minutes. How I do it is I do 2 sets of push-ups to fail. So I go down, I do push-ups until I fail. I have a break for 30 seconds, and then I do another set of push-ups. But what it does is it connects the body and the mind. And I mean, it's connected. And I don't think we ever realize how important it is to have this emotion connected to motion. Because without that connection, you're not working at your height. Right, and that instant of having both work, you feel like this high. You have this release of endorphins, and you feel like, whoa, like I'm in a good place right now. I can do whatever I'm going to do, and you have to allow yourself to do that. And I don't think we do. So, exercising quickly, whatever that looks like for you, even if you're dropping down and doing 20, that's okay. Or sit-ups, or jumping jacks, or just punch in the air really fast. But it's important to connect your body and mind. I've realized that over the years, especially now, Jesse, that you brought up working out. Now that I've been working out a lot more, I never realized how more important than I thought it was.
Dude, the connecting emotion to motion, like all of this we could unpack a lot. All right, so this is the official. And you actually came to a really good place, but I'm curious. I see messages in the chat box. How many of you are loving this? Raise your hand, wave your arms. Dude, look at this, Tristan. Dude, this is so cool. So I actually Googled 10-minute morning while you were talking. Did you come up with the 10-minute morning? I don't see anything online that I could find.
I did. I came up with the 10-minute morning, and I came up with the morning and evening routines. There's nothing that exists like this. That's why I took it all the way. So here's the evening one. I'm
sure you're already branding it the 10-minute morning Marvel, right? The 10-minute morning Marvel.
Yeah, that's why I did acronyms. Morning is Marvel, evening is Prepare.
Dude, I love it. So Zach and I were just chatting in the private messages. That's Zach's our creative director. We're going to put some clips together from this with the 10-minute morning Marvel and send it to you to help with your branding. This is so cool. Dude, I love this.
All right. Well, dude, I'll continue this if you want next week.
Yeah. I have no idea who's scheduled when, but I'll message you. And we will. You guys want to have Tristan come finish this? Is this good?
Yes, please.
Yes.
And I'll send this over to you so you guys can start it. I print them out, and I have them right now I have them on a clipboard, and I do it every morning. Well, as many mornings as I can.
Yeah. We'll finish. We'll post, if it's okay with you. We'll post this in the Agent Power Huddle, the Facebook group, and then I want to show one thing to you guys before. Hold on, Autumn. I'm going to stop your audio share for a minute. You'll have to put it back on. I just want to promote this because Tristan, this is in your group, Inside Lab Coat Agents, today at noon Pacific. 3:00 Eastern, we have this. It ties in perfectly what Tristan was talking about. Emotional gymnastics for real estate agents. Today's episode is called Toddler Real Estate. Want to know what the heck toddler real estate is? Tristan, you'll dig it, right? We've been working with Sandra, me, Jim Godwin, Priyanka, Janki is going to be on there. It's going to be super fun. So you just go to, it's going to be broadcast live inside Lab Coat Agents, or if you go to thelabcoatagent.com, you can sign up for the webinar. That's today at noon. It's going to be super fun. Other than that, Tristan, thank you for being here, dude. This is super fun. This is
Thanks,
awesome.
Everybody. I'll send you over the thing, and then somebody's asking for that link to the.
I'm gonna pop in the registration link right here. I got it queued up. Here's the link to join for that webinar. That's where you go to register for it today. There you go.
Well, thanks for having me, everybody.